How's it, everyone? Yes, I just did come from my bathroom again, and yes, I do have a moustache, so I'll tell a moustache joke so you can all laugh at my moustache and at the joke at the same time. So why did the moustache go to the bank? To open a shavings account. I know it's a shocking one. Yeah, so I wasn't quite sure what to film this week, but I got an email from one of the guys at Bush Divers. It's Bush Divers, not Bush Drivers. And yeah, they came up with quite a cool paint scheme for the Porter. And it's exact replica of the Porter I fly. And two of their pilots made YouTube videos of them going into one of the airships, Bugalaga airstrip. Let me just check their names here. Fly Tech NZ and Six Pack Pilot. And they got two quite cool views of the aircraft going into land, but I haven't filmed myself doing those views yet. So the problem I have is I've only got one GoPro and I want to get two views in the same flight. So I'm going to attach the GoPro on the tailplane and I'll show you the Flight Tech NZ's video where he gets a cool view there. And then Six Pack Pilot has a view of the cockpit as well. And the problem I have there is I've only got one camera, so I've come up with a bit of a dodgy mount here. So you can see here, we've got a mouthpiece from a snorkel and then just a phone mount here. And I've zip tied them on to, to make a bit of an improvised mouth camera mount. And I'm going to mount my phone onto that, and then I'll hopefully get a nice view of me coming into land. And yeah, so then I can put the different views side by side to see the difference between the actual live video and then also from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, one thing definitely different with Microsoft Flight Simulator is the parking area. So I'll just show you guys here. Tolong angkat. Hei, yang betul nak. Bahan jauh, aku tidak mau makan ha. Okay, so just to end things off, I want to conclude what I thought of everything. So first of all, the actual plane was pretty spot on, but you could see on the day I was flying Romeo Charlie Sierra and not Romeo Charlie Yankee or Romeo Kilo Alpha, and they've got that red and blue paint scheme. With Charlie Sierra, it's got a bit of a different paint scheme. But what I thought was really, really cool was the cockpit. Even in the cockpit, it had my iPad just chilling there as well. So I think the actual plane is pretty realistic. The second thing is the terrain for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It was pretty spot on. When you, from far away coming in, you can see how similar the approaches are. One thing I'd like to improve with it though is as you level off, it's a little bit more significant in real life compared to the flight simulators. And then also the actual vegetation when you get a bit lower down. I know that's quite hard to keep track of, so yeah, because you've got grass growing and trees getting cut down all the time. So you can see in the parking bay there, at the end of the runway, there's like lots of trees around in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and in actual real life, there's not as much vegetation around. Cool, and then just one other thing, as you level off from the one slope to the level off to the next slope, you do get this effect where you start to drift off to the one side, and that actually happens to the one guy flying a flight simulator. So you can see he starts to skid off to the one side, and that actually happens when you're landing, because you get a dampening effect from the hill on the one side, and then you get wind and then no wind, and that causes you to drift off, and then you get a bit of an illusion as well. And just to sum up, yeah, this just gets me super keen to get back into Microsoft Flight Simulator and fly around it, especially just to fly the Porter and see what the improvements are. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.